Hi, everyone. We are going to talk about the weekend prediction. This is May 6th, and we're also going to be talking about the weekly prediction of May 7th, and it will be for every single sign. All right. Now, remember, I do side wheel astrology. So you're going to find yourself thinking, I don't know if this is about me. Side wheel astrology is about where everything is in the sky right now as we speak, and it may change your sun sign. So it may change a few signs in your chart, and it may not. But it really depends. And you can have a reading with me at Ask Holly Hall, or you can check it out yourself online. Okay. So let's start off with Aries. Aries, you are going to find yourself really agitated and aggravated this weekend. You're ready for a fight. Actually, the fire signs. We're going to go for Aries, and we're going to talk about Leo and Sagittarius. Okay, we're just going to talk about the fire signs right now, and then we'll go on to the other elements. So you're going to feel very feisty. Now, Aries, you're going to feel very defensive and independent. And I can do this on my own. Screw you guys. I don't need any of you. That's the whole feeling of the weekend, because there's some trust elements involved here. For some reason, someone has breached your trust. And this is specifically for Leo and Sagittarius as well, all fire signs. You feel like your trust has been taken away. And these are people that you considered like family. And these are people that you kind of came to the rescue for. And you're feeling really frustrated with them. Leo, there's an ego involved. So you may not want to be that independent fighter because your ego is bruised, and your egos are, and it's their ego too. So there seems to be some kind of a feeling of competition, a feeling of that you think you're all that in a bag of chips, and they're trying to knock you down. Aries, it's more about competition. And Sagittarius, if you got Sag in your chart, whether it's your moon, your Mercury, your Mars, your Venus, you're smarter than that. In fact, so much so you almost want to call them on their bluff and go, you know what? You think I'm so stupid? You don't think I know what's going on here? I'm smarter than that. And you may want to one up them on that intelligence level for the weekend, even on Monday. Okay, we're talking about this energy. I'm going to be talking about all sides. This is going Monday into early part of Tuesday, this energy, and that shifts later on today. So I'm talking on Saturday, May the 6th right now. So later on today, we're going to go from passive to calm to relax to screw you. I'm not doing this. I'm going to stick up for myself, or I'm going to stick up for somebody that I really have deep feelings for and care about quite a bit. All right. So that's that energy. Now let's move into the week, and starting on Tuesday and Wednesday. So now you're going to want to take a look at this energy. So this is a time that you want to let them have it. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you're going to have some more information. You're going to get some more juice about what happened over the weekend, or even throughout the whole full moon, which was the last half of last week. Remember, we're talking the weekend of May 6th, going into the week of May 7th. So the Tuesday and the Wednesday is when you want to get really juicy and let people know the information that you've received. And this is when you're going to talk. This is when you're going to communicate. This is when you're going to fight back. This is when Aries, you're going to say, I'm independent. I'm on my own. I'm doing this. Back off. Here comes a ram, full force. And Leo, you're going to have some more self-confidence, but it's not going to be out of ego. It's going to be a natural sense of self-confidence. Now you're going to grieve over the loss of this friendship family member, right? But it's all to do with business, really. It's around business, and it's around the business of friendship, the business of family, or an actual business. And Sagittarius, you guys are the ones that are really going to win at this one, because you got some truth. Okay, this was gossip, and you got some truth now that you can stick it against them on the week of, and we're looking at Tuesday and Wednesday now. Do you want to do that? You might want to hold off till Mercury is out of retrograde. And that for all you fire signs, okay? Mercury's out of retrograde on Sunday and Monday. Now it's still going to be in a shadow side, all right? But Sunday and Monday, you're going to be, and that's the 15th, 14th, 15th, 16th, but mostly the 15th. that's when you want to take action. Or if you are going to take action or you already have, that's when you're going to receive the information or the results of the action that you took, even if it's just an email or a text. All right. So now we're going to move on to Thursday and Friday for you guys. And this one's going to be hard because the action that you're going to take over the allegations or the angry or the gossip or the conversation that you had that really broke your heart. It broke your heart, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, because Aries, it made you mad. Leo, because you're independent, Aries, and you're competitive. This is a competition. You're like, you put up your dukes, let's have at it. And Leo, this is about families. It hurt your heart. And Sagittarius is about your intelligence level. You know, like, don't talk to me. Don't think that I'm stupid around this. So this Capricornian energy comes in for Thursday and Friday for the rest of the week. And this is when you really mean business. And this part's going to be hard. So you might have to shift your perspective into becoming very serious and work harder at not getting yourself in situations where someone could take advantage of you in this way. Okay. So this means all my friends I cannot work with or for or help or support or volunteer for all my friends, and all the people that I volunteer for, I work with, I work in community with, or work in a work situation with, cannot be all my friends and family. That's kind of the lesson around this. You might have this feeling like all bets are off. I'm just not going to be nice to anybody anymore. And that resentment midweek can be a big part of this. So I want you to sit with it for a while. You've got a lot of responsibilities, and you're very reliable. You're being asked to be reliable, not an easy thing for you because you just want to fight back. But you might want to take consideration over the big picture, which is the business aspect of it. Even if this isn't a marriage, there's a business aspect to a marriage where there's logistics, there's rules, there's chores, there's expectations. So you want to take a look at that. Okay. Now let's look at Taurus, the earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So this is going to start off with the full week, the full moon this weekend. Is unless you've got that fiery in your chart, or you've got Libra in your chart, and Virgos, you may have some Libra in your chart, you're going to not be as affected by the moon or the full moon as everybody else is, because it's very easy for you to ground yourself. And this full moon is very airy, fairy, fiery, out of control, kind of reactive energy. And you're not normally a reactive person. And so Taurus, you might find that there's people around you that are being very reactive around their loyalty, lack thereof, and money, okay, and materialism. And you're just like, for the first time, you're actually really not that materialistic around this situation that happened in the full moon, which was mid last week. And this is May 6th. And so into the weekend. But with Virgo, because you probably have some Libra in your chart, there is a situation where you think is completely unfair. And if it's not particularly for you, which means you may not have a lot of Libra in your chart, it may be that it's someone that you care about or somebody that's close to you that has been kind of dealt a bad set of cards, and you feel like you want to help them and problem solve for them. But during the full moon, that's not a good time, specifically with Mercury in retrograde. Don't solicit your advice unless it's asked for, Virgo, for the weekend. All right. And now Sunday, you might be asked to ask for advice around an emotion and around a feeling that somebody else is having. And you may want to kind of be that private investigator and go, I think that you've got to deal with this problem that is totally unrelated to what you're complaining about. Please try not to do that during a full moon. That person will be offended, or those people will be offended that their feelings were not taken into consideration. So no unsolicited advice. All right. And that goes for you too, Capricorn. Capricorns, you're very protective, and you want to teach people how they can take control themselves. And this is a time where, specifically on Sunday, on the May 7th, where feelings and emotions want to be met. They want to be heard. So if you can say things like, oh, I can see how you would resent that. I can see how that would really hurt. That really cuts deep. That's hitting below the belt, don't you think? Those kind of comments will go very far for you, Capricorn. Or for Virgos and Capricorns, is there anything I can do to help? Just let me know. That's all you can do. All right. Now, all right. Okay. So now we're going to go midweek for you. For Taurus, this one's going to be hard for you midweek. We're talking Tuesday and we're talking Monday, actually. And then, for the weekend, starting later on Saturday and Sunday and part of Monday, Taurus, you've got to be careful around the resentment. Okay. I know you're very practical and rational around the money situation, but come Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to find yourself going back like, you know what? I resent that. That person tried to rip me off. They tried to lie to me. They tried to take away something that's my material possession or my possession that's of mine. They totally devalued my value system as if I'm not worthy. And that's what you're going to feel like. And you're going to find yourself becoming very wordy or sarcastic around that on midweek. So you want to be careful. Now, don't jump the gun. Somebody's going to propose to you an idea that is around money. And I want you to not jump the gun around that. I want you to sit back, wait until retrograde's over, 15th and 16th. We still have a shadow side. So maybe even to the end of the month. Don't jump into any kind of money scheme until then. Do your research, okay? Because you might want to jump. You're really concerned about money right now since the weekend had passed. So midweek, you might jump into it because I'll show you get back on track financially, but be careful, all right? Now, for Virgo midweek, very sarcastic. You're very sarcastic. You're looking into the near future. You're not happy that you don't have anything tangible that can tell you what the near future is going to be like. And you find yourself really being detached and frustrated and irritable that you don't have a plan. Or that somebody else doesn't have a plan, is screwing up around their organization skills as well. So you're going to feel really scattered Tuesday, Wednesday, and part of Thursday. So this is probably a time to distract yourself, find yourself a hobby, a few hobbies, so you can scatter it around and try this, that, and everything else. I have some Virgo in my chart. So I plan on doing, I love my content creation that I'm doing right now. So I plan on catching up on doing that because I'm going to be away traveling from Mexico back to Canada. So I'm going to just catch up on that as well. And for Capricorn, you need some alone time. You really need to decompress. I would spend Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I know you're probably working because you guys are real workhorses, but if you can do that alone, try not to rein in the team. Don't talk to the team at this point. And if you're in a management position, this is not a good time to have that conversation about getting the job done. Wait until next week. All right. Now, for you three earth signs for later part of Thursday and Friday, now you can get the job done. I know I said for Capricorn, wait till next week. Yes, wait till next week till you formally make a public sort of announcement that, okay, this is how we're going to get the job done. But you may, all three of you may be looking at changing your jobs. So, or looking for a job or wanting to make more money. So Thursday and Friday is when you're going to, all three of you do a lot of research in order to create a plan for that future around how you want to change your career. It's all around money and career for you guys as well. Now, for Taurus, it's more around I'm worth more than what I'm being valued for. I'm not getting the recognition either financially or personally. If it's not financially, even in a relationship, it can be that way. Like, I shouldn't have to ask for money. I shouldn't have to make my own job because I have to explain where my money goes. type of thing. Or maybe I shouldn't worry so much about my wife not making money and take a look at how much value she has, or my partner, for that aspect. I shouldn't just say wife. So, and for Virgo, it's around the plan. You're just going to be really critical. You've been critical of yourself for a couple of days that you didn't have a plan. And so Thursday and Friday, you're going to spend a lot of time making that plan and feeling a sense of accomplishment, really, finally, because the midweek was like, why didn't I just go to sleep and wake up on Thursday afternoon? And Capricorn, you're going to feel the same way. You're going to feel this very strong sense of accomplishment, but you're going to have to sort of spend some time grooming yourself to prepare for next week, Capricorn, to let people know what the new rules are. You're kind of changing up the game a bit. Now we're going to look at the air signs, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So right away, the full moon, which is finalizing now as I speak, May 6th, Gemini, this hasn't been too bad for you, Gemini. You've got a lot of ideas. You're scattered around what those ideas, and you're juggling 2 or 3 things, and you're not doing too bad of a job of it, really. But I would wrap it up with this full moon, at least wrap up. If you're juggling 3 things, wrap up 2, juggling 4, wrap up 3. Okay, bring it down to 1. Because if you don't, by midweek, you're going to be so scattered and so distracted with too many balls, too many eggs in your basket, that there's going to be some words spoken, and it's going to get sarcastic and feisty and annoying and irritating, and you might say things that you don't mean. So if you feel that you need some people to come in and help you out, this is a time to ask for that help, specifically on later part of Saturday, Sunday, and first part of Monday. Ask for that help. I know you don't trust them to do everything the way that you would want it done, so just trust them to do the job a monkey could do. Okay, just pass on the baton to someone who can, and you will be pleasantly surprised by the end of the week how they performed. Now with Libra, that individual that you're not confronting, that you're harboring resentment for, because this has been hard for you, you're angry. You're angry. You've been keeping you cool. You've been patient, and you've been frustrated since Friday morning, actually, and I'm sure you let a few people know that. So later on today and most of Sunday and Monday, that anger, that I'm pissed off, this is absolutely not fair, and the situation isn't fair at all. You are going to start doing some really serious investigation, and if you're smart, and I know you are, you're going to use this to your advantage. You're going to use this really hard lesson to teach you how to help other people. First, help yourself, and then help other people how to deal with the same situation that you have. And that might even just be putting it on social media or sharing it with some friends in the future. Not quite yet. You'll do it at the end of May. All right. But right now, for the better part of Sunday and Monday, you'll be doing a ton of research. And yet passion as well as resentment will fuel that desire. And now we're looking at Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, you're going to find yourself feeling very, very much like you're not a part of the team. You feel like there has been feel a bit framed, okay, whether it's with your friendships or your family or your team where you work. You feel a bit framed, and you feel like you're out of the loop, as if someone has purposely kept you out of the loop, as if they're talking, they're gathering together and they haven't invited you to the party. And that's not necessarily true. And you will find the truth out about that on Wednesday and Thursday, or sorry, the better part of Tuesday and Wednesday, and the early part of Thursday. You'll find that truth out. And that's the same thing with you, Virgo. Sorry, not Virgo. That's the same with you, Gemini. Gemini, you're going to find out what the truth is, that all this, and Libra, all this investigations that you've been doing, and you will find out on Wednesday and the early part of Thursday what the truth is. And that's only because you've done it. And you can sit in resentment, and not do any research, and you won't find out any truth by then. But as your astrologer, I'm telling you, do some investigation, become that detective. All right. Now, all right. Am I Canadian? So now we're going to look at Thursday and Friday for you air signs. Thursday and Friday, we are looking at finally getting the job done. You're not happy about this. There's some more work that needs to be done, maybe some more documentation. You're finding that somebody that you admired, or you had a lot, or even a system that you had a lot of, felt like was very supportive for you, is the foundation has crumbled. It's not supportive at all. And this is still some time that even though you've done all the investigation, now it's time for documentation. And Gemini, you don't have patience for that. So you might want to try to find like a text to talk. I like Google Docs, talk to text. I like Google Docs for that. Just to be able to ramble off everything. And since I'm forewarning you as you're investigating, I want you to start making note of websites and where you've received information, who you've talked to, etc. Same thing with you, Libra. Start keeping a track record of what you've been researching and looking for. And I think somebody will help you, Libra, along with that. So listen to some advice, just go there and check it out. And for Aquarius, you're going to find that I think I need a new team. I think I need to work at finding new friends or finding new connections in this particular situation. And because it's these people don't have the same humanity skill set that you have. You're very strong humanitarian. You just want your freedom from it. So you're just like Thursday and Friday, I'm getting out of this situation. I think you've detached yourself, so you're not going to really let them know that's what you're doing. So now we're going to go into the water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The full moon has not affected you as much as it normally would unless you have air or fire in your chart. In Pisces, you may have that, as well as Scorpio, you may have it as well. Actually, all three of you may have, because Cancer might have Leo as well. So you got to know your whole sidereal chart, basically. So what you want to do, Cancer, is now we're moving into the Scorpio for Sunday, the later part of Saturday, Sunday, and part of Monday. And this is where you're going to feel really intuitive. I mean, you don't need to be a detective. Your gut is telling you what needs to be done and not what doesn't need to be done. You're really at peace, which is this knowing. Finally, you're not agitated, you're not irritated, you're not flustered, you're not frustrated. You just feel like, you know what? I just know everything's going to be okay. And I'm at peace with that. And so this is a good few days for you. It's a really good time to pamper yourself. If you need a therapist or a coach or a life coach, here I am, or your own therapist, find somebody to talk to about your feelings, to validate that you are worthy. Self-nurturing is getting care for yourself, and therapist is great for that. And that's perfect timing for you to do that. Now, with that being said, we're going to move into Scorpio, and I'm going to advise you the same thing. This is top-notch energy for you. You don't only just feel peaceful and calm, you found the weakest link in a person or a situation, and you're like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So if you're a part of the gossip chain, you're going to be in trouble because somebody's going to call you out, but you're going to kind of be grateful for it. And say, you know what? I didn't want to be a part of this whole thing anyway. So see you guys. So that's that energy for you, Scorpio. And this is if you want to do any investing, not a good time to actually do the investing, but it is a good time to do the research around investing, because that's going to go very smooth for you. And then to proceed with that next week, but do the investing right now. Specifically, it's around borrowing money or investing money of sorts. Now, for Pisces, this is an energy that the full moon affected you only because it affected a lot of people around you. And you felt kind of victimized by the heavy mood or the heavy feeling around it. And so late Saturday into Sunday and Monday, whoever is involved in that is actually going to come and be very vulnerable. Same with Scorpio, but really so much with Pisces. They're going to feel very vulnerable about telling you this kind of the secret of what's been happening. And that's going to make you feel, and it might have already happened, but it's going to give you a sense of relief that, oh, this isn't about me. This isn't me at all, actually, because you're so empathic. You pick up the feelings and emotions of others, and it feels like it's you, not anybody else. Now, in midweek, for where am I here? Cancer, midweek for Cancer. So the latter part of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you're going to feel as if there is, just give me a second here. You're going to worry a little bit about your health. Now, it's not about nothing. Take it down a notch. Whatever the health situation is, whether it's serious or not serious, and if it's serious, you already know about it. Okay, it's something you already know about. And if it's not serious, then it's just some sort of sniffle or cold or just feeling really tired or decompressed. That's going to happen. Whatever the situation is, and you will know, okay, I'm not trying to forewarn you about something terrible health-wise that's going to happen. You need to look at your nutrition because this is going through your 6th house. So you need to look at your diet and nutrition. And you might think this has nothing to do. If a doctor or somebody's trying to prescribe you something, I want you to take a look at a nutritionist or naturopath, or do some research. I like Dr. Burke, myself, or Dr. Mindy, or Dr. Axe. You can look on YouTube or Medical Medium. And specifically, Dr. Burke, you will find a specific answer, health-wise, nutrition-wise, dietary-wise, supplement-wise, what you can do to beat whatever that problem is, even if it's as simple as GERD or indigestion. All right. Now, that is midweek so Cancer, it'll be more around the stomach issues. For Scorpio, it's going to be around your bowels, and Cancer can be serotonin uptake, dopamine made in the biome, and for Scorpio, it's bowels and maybe IBS, etc., and female reproductive system. And it can be the sinus and ears area as well. And for now, we're looking at Pisces. Now, for Pisces, this is all around work. This seems to be a work situation, and you do not want to approach somebody during the week because sarcasm is not going to be pretty coming out of your compassionate heart and mouth. So if somebody tries to approach you about something, you might want to say midweek, this is not a good time. Trust me. No. Okay. We reconvene on Friday. If they don't, then you warned them. Right? Now, with that being said, on Thursday and Friday, guys, for Cancer, this is hard because you're going to be up against an authority, and this is kind of bringing out that inner child in you that you feel like you're being punished, or you feel like you're being told what to do, or you feel like you can't approach somebody because it feels like you're a little kid again and you're approaching your father or the teacher in the classroom. So you might want to hold off on that and just sit with the feelings and sit with the emotions, but do know you're worthy, and you're worthy of confronting this adult version. Well, no matter whether you're 11 years old or you're 91, this is how you're going to feel, this heaviness around that. But that will pass as the weekend enters, and I'll do a forecast for the weekend on Thursday or Friday. And then for Scorpio, this has to do with siblings, and this has to do with travel. So there may have been a trip that you're trying to do on the weekend, a real quick getaway, and it gets compromised. You're fairly flexible in general, but this gets compromised beyond the scope of flexibility. Therefore, you're going to probably have some words with somebody that they're unorganized or they don't have it organized, and they might say to you, well, why didn't you organize it? And you're like, oh, I'm just too busy kind of thing. And that's the energy for Scorpio. But don't allow the resentment of the plans being changed to change for you to bow out. I wouldn't bow out of that situation because the plans are changed. And whether you decide that, okay, I'm not going with you guys, still do something and get away and spend that weekend doing something and not feeling too bad for yourself, if you can. Now, for Pisces, you're going to find that this is around money and finances. You actually got it under control, the money and financial situation. So if you feel like you don't have it under control midweek, you will have it figured out by Thursday and Friday, and it isn't as serious as you thought it was. But it's also a time when you're going to start thinking of how can I manage this situation by myself? Because I can't rely on somebody else to take control of it. So how can I do this on my own? I feel a little bit victimhood at first, like, why do I have to do this on my own? Why am I on my own and figure this out? But if you can take the bull by the reins and take control over the situation and bring in the people that can help you, it's going to work out in your favor. Okay, everyone, I'm Holly from askhollyhall.com. This is your predictions for the entire week. And I hope you have an amazing week. May the stars be with you and may all your dreams come true.